If your Bitcoins are on an exchange or mobile wallet, you could lose them in this bull run. CoinCompass.com is running a free 1-hour webinar where you can learn about cold storage, multi-sig, and best practices for securing your Bitcoin. Become a self-sovereign custodian of your investment by owning, not renting, your Bitcoins. To register and for more details, visit CoinCompass.com/webinar. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe, like, and share so we can find others like yourself. Welcome to the Bitcoin Basics podcast with your hosts, Faris and Gordon from CoinCompass.com, enabling you to safely buy and securely store your Bitcoins. All resources are in the show notes and description, including our disclaimer. Visit BitcoinBasicsPodcast.com to subscribe and discover other free content.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is Faris from Coin Compass. I'm here with Gordon. We are doing a quick one, jumping on for public service announcement. It is 4:12 a.m. on the 15th of December, 2020. That is UTC time. Our proof of recording is Bitcoin currently trading at 19,438. The block height is 661,424. And if you're unsure what that means, please see our previous episodes. That is our Bitcoin timestamp proof of recording. So I'm here with Gordon. He got a hold of me earlier, said we need to jump on and do a public service announcement. Because as many of you would be familiar, one of the many cold storage devices that you would use is the Ledger cold storage devices. And Gordon, there's been something's happened with Ledger. Can you bring us up to date, please?
Yeah, this is actually not a recent thing. This happened a few months ago. And I want to just start by saying, if you have a Ledger, your Bitcoins are safe. There's no risk of your coins getting stolen or anything like that. So in terms of Bitcoin, don't believe any of the FUD out there. Some websites and probably nefarious people are saying that, your funds are at jeopardy and, go to this site and update your firmware and all that kind of stuff, which will probably mean that your funds will get stolen if you click on one of those links. So your Bitcoin is fine if you have a Ledger. The deal is that a couple of months ago, websites web store, and I believe they use Shopify as a back end, the customer information database was stolen. And what that means is that all the credit card information, all the shipping addresses, personal information, including my own, was stolen up about 3 or 4 months ago. The details are quite hazy. On a personal note, I know this is true because Ledger actually came out with a blog post about 3-4 months ago saying our e-commerce database was not hacked. I've been receiving emails from Ledger with my name and details saying your Bitcoins are at risk. Please click this link to update your details. And one of the emails actually mentioned, hey, your Bitcoins are at risk. Please enter in your 24-word recovery seed into this box. That's pretty scary. So I have a love-hate relationship with Ledger. I think they make a great product, but in this case, they haven't disclosed things properly. They kind of swept it under the rug, and they really have done the wrong things by their customers, saying it's not really a big deal, when actually having information about all of your customers being leaked kind of is a big deal, because I might know not to click on a link that is obviously a phishing or a fake scam email. But other people might think, yeah, there's been an urgent update to the Ledger software. I need to update my software right now, or I need to put in my 24 words before my Bitcoins get stolen. So it is actually a big deal.
So Gordon, I suppose the first question is, if this happened a few months ago, why did you wake me up from my afternoon nap to do a PSA now?
That is a great question, and you can go back to sleep in a couple of minutes. Just the intensity and frequency, of the emails has been kept going, because I received an email a few months ago and then a couple of weeks ago, and in this week I've received 3 or 4 emails, and they look completely legitimate. They've got my name, it says "Hello Gordon" in it. They've got my email address, and that email address was actually registered when I bought the Ledger quite a few years ago, so it's not a current email address. So I'm sorry, Ledger. I like your product, but yeah, in this case, you've really done yourselves a disservice. And yeah, I mean, I guess this teaches us a good lesson, and this is a good reminder to people. You might want to be a little bit more careful, including myself, when you're buying things like hardware wallets. You are actually disclosing your name, your credit card, your home address, and shipping address. And that may not be important to you now, but you know, considering basically hackers and the entire internet have got the information now, you could become a target. So yeah, this is what we call OpSec, or operational security, and certainly something that I will be thinking about twice when I buy my next hardware wallet.
So even though the hack happened a while ago, there's still that information is still being used, and there's another round of phishing attacks. So essentially, what should people do or not do at the moment? If, say, you've got your Bitcoins on a Ledger device, is there anything you should be doing?
No. So as I said, there's a lot of FUD going around there to say your Bitcoins are not safe. No, your Bitcoins are safe on your Ledger. And the way that hardware wallets work, and Ledger is the most popular hardware wallet, is that it doesn't matter even if your computer is completely infected. So let's say your computer has a virus and malware and whatnot, and you plug in your Ledger, that shouldn't actually matter. Because anything important you do, like send or receive funds or put in your 24-word recovery seed, is done on the actual device itself. So there is no issue from that point of view, but certainly if you do things like you receive an email and it looks legitimate, it does look like the email comes from Ledger. You do things like click on a link or input your 24 words into what looks like a legitimate Ledger security page, then you've lost your Bitcoins.
Okay, so never click on links from emails, go directly to the website itself.
Yeah, I mean, that's last but not least, the best practices are a common sense. As Farah said, don't click on links in email, especially if you're not really predicting or you're expecting an email. Go to the website. Just go to Ledger's website. Don't click on a link. And never, ever, this sounds like fairly obvious, but never, ever put in your 24-word recovery seed unless you are doing an actual recovery on your Ledger device itself. So there's no need to ever enter in your 24 words unless you've bought a new Ledger or your Ledger got stolen or something like that and you've got a new Ledger. The very first thing I'll ask you is this a new device or are you restoring an old device? That is the only reason you ever need to put in your 24-word seed. And last but not least, I would say, well, actually two things. One is create a 25th word. The 25th word on every hardware wallet nowadays enables you to create a custom word by yourself. So that's maybe your password or a word that you've come up with by yourself, so that even if those 24 words do get stolen, they don't have your 25th word, your password. So that's one way to prevent against that. And secondly, set up 2FA. It's just not just for crypto, it's good practice. So for all these things, when you're logging into websites, use 2FA. Don't use your mobile phone number as 2FA, as we've explained in previous videos. Use a proper authenticator like Authy or Google Authenticator. And that basically mitigates any risk of someone stealing your device, your computer or whatnot. They still don't have your 2FA or your 25th word.
Thanks, Gordon. And let's say people want to find out more about operational security, how to protect their Bitcoins, how to store their Bitcoin securely. Is there anyone out there running workshops and consultations to help them do that?
Wow, here comes the shill. So Faris and I run coincompass.com, and we have a webinar coming up, coincompass.com/webinar, where you learn about multi-sig or multi-signature, which is the best way to secure your Bitcoins without a single point of failure. And I'll also link two YouTube videos, one where we talk about Bitcoin wallets and the other one where we actually go into InfoSec of how to set up a secure computer connection, VPN, 2FA and use a password manager to get you all up and ready. And as I said before, not just for crypto stuff, this is just for, especially in this day and age, people working from home, whatnot, this is just best practices for doing anything online, really. You need to level up, you need to improve your InfoSec.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. And please remember, if you enjoyed this podcast, to like, review, and share it with your friends. And hit us up for any questions. Just jump on to coincompass.com and we can answer any questions that you have on our podcast. Anything else, Gordon?
Yeah, actually, probably the best place, if you've got a specific question about this video, put them in the comments of this YouTube video. Or if you're on a podcast, head across to coincompass.com/YouTube and we can have a discussion in the comments. So thanks again. And we kept this short and sweet, but even though some of this information may have sounded obvious, the best form of defense is not a technical defense, it's just to use your common sense. If something is too good to be true, or you're not sure about it, just don't do it. I mean, not doing anything is sometimes the best defense. And as Farah said, if you've ever got questions, coincompass.com/contact. Thanks for watching or listening. Please visit coincompass.com/free to register to our socials and discover other free content. Subscribing, liking, and following helps this content remain ad-free. Until next time.